All right, we're coming at you with a new segment called Tool Tuesdays. This will be a quick one going over a specific tool that we use to either run our lumber business or the fine furniture business. In this one, we're going to showcase our 37-inch wide jointer planer. So let's get right into it. We'll give you some details. So we got this jointer planer through an auction here in London, Ontario, which is local to me, about 2.5 hours away. Very fortunate to score this machine. It was an online auction. I didn't even go and see the machine. Retail price on a brand new machine like this is closer to $150,000 Canadian versus we got this machine for around $25,000 Canadian at this auction, as well as some transportation charges here and there. It does both sides at the same time. It's a true jointer. It has an adjustable in-feed table up to, I think, 10 millimeters, which is like insane. Most of the time we'll be taking 2 to 3 millimeters off on the bottom side and then whatever it takes off on the back side. It has a 37-inch wide spiral head bottom head, as well as a 37-inch wide spiral head top head at the back, done with carbide inserts. There's about 250 inserts on each head. It'll cost us about $1,800 to $2,000 if we want to replace all the inserts at the same time, which for the amount of lumber that we run through it, which is a good amount, we're not a high production shop, but a lot of lumber does go through this machine. We'll be replacing the cutters on the back head maybe 2-3 times a year and maybe twice on the jointing head. They're carbide inserts which are able to use all 4 sides. So if you hit a nail, a rock, or they just dull, you'll be able to loosen the screw and turn the cutter head up to 3 times utilizing all 4 sides, which is pretty sweet. Both heads are easily accessible. We just take out a bolt, rotate over kind of like a support structure, and we're able to pull out the side head, change all the inserts that way. The top head, we're going to take off the dust shroud, and then we can access the inserts that way. This machine weighs 10,000 pounds. It's pretty insane how much it weighs. It's the heaviest machine I've ever purchased, I've ever used, I've ever had to move, and it really hasn't moved since we put it here. Very simple to use. We have on-off button. It's got a digital display which can tell us the thickness in millimeters or inches. And then we have each head, there's 2 heads, each with a 30 horsepower motor, one 30 horsepower motor per head. And it has a feed motor, which I think is another 2 horsepower or something like that. It also has an up-down motor built into it, which is another horsepower, which raises and lowers the entire top head. The bottom stays stationary, but this entire top head lifts up and down, which is pretty cool on some big ball screws. And we can go as high as, I believe, 9 inches in total height, which is pretty awesome. The feed drive is fully adjustable. It's speed. I just turn the knob here while it's running. It's kind of like a snowmobile clutch. It opens one side versus the other, and you can fully adjust how fast the wood is going through the machine, speed it up, slow it down as much as you'd like. It uses what's called a carpet feed. So instead of just rollers feeding the wood through and the wood kind of doing that through it, it has individual nipples on there, which each of them is spring loaded, so that way if a board has warp or twist to it, it goes into the machine, and that carpet feed will hold that warp and twist in one position while passing it over the jointer and then finally through the planer. And it has 4 dust ports. So I got 4 blast gates on here, all 6-inch, heading to it. We have about 5,000 CFM at our dust collector, and it does a very good job sucking up the chips. But we pretty much do have a mess every single time we use the machine, so we got to clean it up a little bit. So let me go ahead, I'll turn on the motors now. It's very quiet, as you can see, and that's because of the spiral head. Motor number 2. This is going to pop. Now I can turn on the feed. So the machine's now ready for the wood to go through. All we need to do is set our thickness. We go to the digital keypad, type in what we'd like. I would like 3 inches, and we hit start. And it'll move automatically to 3 inches. So there we go, we're at 3 inches. We're then able to put our wood through. All right, we got a piece of poplar here. It's 33 millimeters thick. We're gonna take 3 millimeters off the bottom, 3 millimeters off the top. One shot, dress it flat. Let's see what this baby can do. Boom! Oh that wood. Eat that wood. Whoa.